Hey everybody, it's Anna. Time for the Wednesday card in this week's tarot story. So today we have our second major arcana card for the week, and it is the Devil. So people are often nervous about the devil. I mean, he looks like a pretty scary creature, right? But the way I read the cards is always the question of how does this empower me? How does this offer direction for greater expansion and abundance? And the devil is a great opportunity for that. So the image does connect with the feeling of oppression, being trapped, being stuck. You got this devil's cave. So there's no obvious outlet to this cave. So there's no way to get out. So you might say, yeah, this is a hopeless situation. So this card connects to those situations in our lives that we have sort of decided there's no movement possible. We're going to have to live with this. It's a chronic condition we're going to have to live with forever, right? And the image is these two, the man and woman, and they are chained. They're not only in a cave, they're actually chained around their necks. So yeah, definitely looks like they can't move very much. But if you look at the chains around their necks, the links are very large, which actually means they're able to lift these links over their heads, which gives us an important clue into the power of this card, which is you're not really stuck. You have the power, especially when this card shows up. It's saying you're at a point in your life where you're ready to access new power and to make something possible that once felt impossible. The question is, are you going to agree to accessing that power? And that's a real question, because the power we're capable of, the reason we come to our power slowly is because the amount of power we are ultimately capable of is quite overwhelming to the mind. Because you're accessing something that's not from the physical plane, it's from the spiritual plane, and it kind of blows the mind up, right? So the reason the path is set up the way it is you kind of slowly integrate strength every time, new strength, new power as you go along. It's still a challenge for the mind, but it's a bit by bit challenge rather than a whole turkey challenge, a whole hog challenge. So, but every time it's time for power to move in greater expansion, the mind gets nervous. Because even though this is a cave and it's crappy and it feels oppressive, it's still the known. The mind knows this cave, the mind knows this chain, and it has figured out how to cope with it, right? It has figured out how to function inside of this limitation. The idea that you have access to free yourself, not only to get the chain off your neck, but actually to blow up the cave, because that's the only way out, right? There's only one way out of this cave, and that's to blow it up. The fact that you have access to that power is kind of frightening to the mind. So the opportunity shows up for you to move forward and to blast through this cave. Are you going to take it, right? Yesterday's card was the Hanged Man reversed, which suggested that we are at the end of a time of internal integration. Something has shifted. We see things differently. A new path has opened up to us. And now we're invited to finish our time of waiting and start dancing down the path. This card feels like it makes sense, because as you dance down that path, now you come into contact with something that has always felt immovable, but now it's possibly going to move. It's able to move if you choose to move it. So the Hanged Man sort of set us up for a new path. This is part of the new path. So the question is, are we willing to access that power, blast through this cave, and take responsibility for the freedom that follows coming out of the cave? Because as long as you're in the cave, your responsibility is limited. You can't do much, right? Once you get free, you increase in freedom, you increase in responsibility. So that's our second step. See you tomorrow for our next one. Bye.